Listen carefully now, not because this message is dramatic, not because the year sounds mysterious, but because 2026 does not arrive suddenly, it announces itself quietly. And this moment you are in right now is one of those announcements. You did not click this by accident, not curiosity, not boredom, not algorithm. You came because something inside you has already started anticipating change, even if your mind hasn't named it yet. I am Krishna, not speaking from prophecy, not from fear, not from promise. I am speaking from pattern because before every major shift in a human life, there is a phase that feels strangely normal. No collapse, no miracle, just a quiet sense that something is rearranging behind the scenes, and that is where you are standing right now. Most people think destiny announces itself loudly. They wait for signs that shake the world, but real turning points do not scream, they tighten. They tighten your patience, they tighten your tolerance, they tighten your ability to accept what once felt acceptable, and slowly, without drama, life begins asking different questions. Not, what do you want? But, what are you no longer willing to live with? This is not coincidence, this is preparation. You must be thinking why 2026 is different, and why you feel it early. Understand this clearly. Years do not change people, but transitions do, and 2026 is not a reward year. It is not a punishment year, it is a reveal year. What has been hidden in momentum will surface. What has been delayed by distraction will demand decision. What you avoided by staying busy will no longer stay quiet. That is why right now feels confusing in a strange way. You are not unhappy enough to quit, not inspired enough to leap, not broken enough to rebuild. You are functioning, and that is the most dangerous comfort of all. Because when life truly wants to shift someone, it does not destroy them first, it exposes their misalignment. You still wake up, you still perform, you still respond, but tell me honestly, when did your life last feel internally synchronized? Not successful, not productive, but right. If that question feels difficult, this message has already reached the correct person. In the Mahabharata, wars did not begin on the battlefield. They began in ignored signals. Small compromises, unquestioned habits, silent resentment, delayed courage. By the time arrows flew, decisions had already been made years earlier. 2026 works the same way. It is not coming to surprise you. It is coming to collect clarity, and clarity is uncomfortable only for those who avoided it. This is why you feel restlessness without a clear reason. This is why motivation rises and collapses quickly. This is why old goals no longer excite you, but new ones haven't fully formed. You are between identities, and that space is sacred, but only if you recognize it. Do not mistake this phase. Many will tell you, push harder, stay positive, just be patient. But hear me carefully now. This is not a waiting phase. This is a positioning phase. What you tolerate now becomes permanent later. What you delay now becomes difficult later. What you ignore now becomes unavoidable later. 2026 does not punish confusion, it amplifies it. That is why those who enter it unconsciously feel overwhelmed, and those who enter it prepared experience sudden acceleration same year. Different outcomes. The difference is not luck, the difference is awareness. I am not speaking to everyone watching. Some will scroll past, some will feel intrigued but unchanged, some will forget this within minutes. But a few, and you know if you are one of them, will feel slightly unsettled. Not scared, not excited, just alert. That alertness is not anxiety, it is intuition waking up. You have outgrown something, but you haven't yet stepped into what replaces it, and life is giving you time, not much, but enough. Enough to choose consciously instead of being forced later. In the next part, I will tell you what kind of change 2026 brings, not events, but inner shifts that decide outer outcomes. You will understand why some people feel lost next year while others suddenly rise without explanation. And more importantly, you will recognize what you must stop carrying before that year arrives, because what you enter 2026 with determines whether it becomes pressure or power. Let me speak to you now without symbolism, because what approaches you in 2026 is not dramatic on the outside, it is decisive on the inside. Most people imagine change as addition, new opportunities, new roles, new people, new success. But the change coming for you works in the opposite direction first. It begins with subtraction, and this is why many misunderstand it. You are not about to gain something unusual. You are about to lose what no longer belongs to you, and that loss will feel strange before it feels freeing. You have been carrying weight that was never assigned to you. Not physical weight, not visible responsibility. I am speaking of emotional agreements you never consciously signed. Explaining yourself repeatedly, staying where your growth feels inconvenient, adjusting your truth to maintain peace. Carrying expectations that were placed on you slowly, holding on because this is how it has always been. None of this collapsed your life. That is why you tolerated it. But listen carefully now. What does not collapse, you can still limit you. And limitation is subtle. It feels like tired motivation, delayed decisions, a strange lack of excitement even when things go well. This is not laziness. This is misalignment fatigue. Do you know why 2026 will no longer allow this? Every phase of life has a tolerance window. For a while, life allows compromise. It allows adjustment. It allows survival. But there comes a point where continuing the same way creates more damage than disruption. 2026 is that threshold. From that year onward, what you ignore will begin to speak louder. What you suppress will ask for expression. What you delay will return as pressure. Not because life becomes cruel, but because you are ready to become precise. Precision is uncomfortable only in the beginning. Let me tell you about the inner shift that changes everything. Here is the shift that will quietly take place. You will stop asking, "Will this work out?" and start asking, "Is this aligned with who I am becoming?" This single change will rearrange everything. Your tolerance for half connections will reduce. Your patience for meaningless effort will thin. Your willingness to stay silent when something feels wrong will disappear. People may say you've changed, but the truth is simpler. You stopped abandoning yourself, and that is what feels unusual to those who benefited from your silence. Let me make this clear. The discomfort you may feel approaching 2026 is not a warning, it is a recalibration. When an archer pulls the bowstring back, the arrow moves away from the target first, only then can it fly forward with force. Right now, you are being pulled back internally, not to delay you, not to punish you, but to correct your direction. If you resist this phase, you will feel stuck. If you cooperate with it, you will feel guided. Same sensations, different interpretations. Do you know why many will miss this moment? Most people numb this phase. They distract themselves, they stay busy, they blame circumstances, they wait for motivation to magically return. But those who grow do something uncomfortable instead. They observe, they notice what drains them, they question what they keep justifying, they admit where they are no longer honest with themselves, and that honesty becomes the turning key. My child, have a question only you can answer. Before I speak further, you must do one thing, not for me but for yourself, and ask yourself this slowly, honestly. What am I still carrying out of habit, fear, or loyalty, even though I know it no longer fits who I am becoming? Do not answer immediately, do not explain it away, do not judge it. Just notice what comes up, and here is the commitment I ask of you. Observe one thing in your life that feels heavy but familiar, and do not react to it. Just become aware of it, because awareness always comes before release. Now let's talk about the moment destiny stops waiting. Listen carefully now, because what I am about to say is where most people turn back. Not because it is unclear, but because it removes excuses. Until now, life has allowed you space. Space to hesitate, space to delay, space to say not now. But understand this truth of time. Destiny cooperates with clarity, not comfort. And clarity is about to be demanded from you. There is a phase before every major shift that feels deceptively calm. Nothing collapses, nothing explodes, nothing forces your hand, and people assume this calm means nothing needs to change yet. This is where most futures quietly break. Because this phase is not peace, it is permission. Permission to choose consciously before life chooses for you. 2026 will not create pressure out of nowhere. It will simply remove the cushioning. What you decide now feels optional. What you delay now becomes compulsory later. That is the difference. Ever thought why waiting is no longer neutral? You have been told that patience is wisdom. And yes, patience is sacred. But patience without direction is not wisdom. It is avoidance disguised as spirituality. Waiting only works when you know what you are waiting for. If not, waiting slowly turns into drifting, and drifting has a cost. Not immediate pain, but gradual loss of inner authority. You stop trusting your decisions, you seek more opinions, You delay even simple choices. And when opportunity arrives, you hesitate not because it is wrong, but because you forgot how to stand firmly. This is what 2026 exposes. The shift destiny is asking from you. Up to now, your question has been, will things improve? That question belongs to survival mode. The question that now matters is, what am I choosing to stand for? This is where destiny responds. Not to desperation, not to confusion, but to commitment, even imperfect commitment. A wrong direction chosen consciously can still be corrected, but no direction chosen at all leaves you dependent on circumstances, and circumstances have no loyalty to you. You will see people who appear to suddenly rise, but it is not sudden. They decided earlier. They stopped negotiating with what drained them. They stopped postponing uncomfortable honesty. They stopped living as if clarity would arrive someday on its own. They chose alignment over approval, and once direction is fixed, energy reorganizes automatically. Opportunities recognize certainty. People respond to clarity. Life accelerates where hesitation ends. There will be people who will feel lost in 2026, but they are not unlucky. They are undecided. They kept all doors half open. They waited for signs instead of choosing values. They avoided endings hoping for painless transitions. But endings do not disappear when ignored. They only arrive louder. I will not comfort you here. I will tell you what is real. You are not confused because you lack answers. You are confused because you avoid choosing one, and choice always demands loss. Loss of alternate versions, loss of pleasing everyone, loss of familiar suffering, but without loss, there is no direction. And without direction, destiny has nowhere to meet you. Now sit with this honestly. If nothing in your life changes automatically, what are you willing to choose deliberately before 2026 arrives? Do not answer for others. Do not answer from fear. Do not answer quickly. Your future is already listening. My beautiful soul, let's talk about what you must consciously release before 2026. Before you try to move forward, you must understand something important. Not everything that follows you is meant to come with you. And 2026 is not a year that tolerates excess weight. It does not create pain on its own. Pain happens only when pressure meets resistance. So let me tell you clearly what creates that resistance and what must be released before arrival. Number 1, release the habit of emotional carrying. You have been carrying more than your share. Other people's moods, other people's expectations, other people's unfinished decisions, not because you were asked, but because you were capable. This habit once made you reliable. Now it makes you tired. Carrying what is not yours does not make you strong anymore. It makes you unavailable to your own life. 2026 will not support silent over responsibility. Release the need to hold everything together. Number 2, release delayed decisions. Some of you live in a constant almost ready, almost decided, almost clear. This keeps life suspended. Understand this truth. Indecision is still a decision, it just hands control to circumstances. Before 2026, you must stop waiting for perfect certainty. Direction comes after movement, not before. Release the belief that clarity arrives first. Number 3, release the need to be understood by everyone. You explain too much, you justify your choices, you soften your truth, you fear being misinterpreted. But growth always looks confusing to those who are not growing with you. Seeking universal understanding will keep you small. Release the habit of self-translation. Those who matter will feel you, not interrogate you. Number 4, release comfort that costs you respect. Some comfort is not rest, it is slow erosion. Comfort that dulls your standards. Comfort that postpones your potential. Comfort that keeps you functional but unfulfilled. You already know which comfort this is. 2026 does not destroy comfort. It exposes the cost of it. Release what makes days easier, but life heavier. Number 5, release the belief that time will fix misalignment. Time does not realign what awareness avoids. If something feels off repeatedly, it is not waiting for time, it is waiting for courage. Carry misalignment long enough, and pressure turns into pain. Release the illusion of later. Later is expensive. Release is not loss, it is preparation. You are not becoming empty, you are becoming precise. And precision is what 2026 responds to. Question for you, comment your answer below. What am I still tolerating simply because it feels familiar, even though it quietly drains me? You must be thinking what you must build before 2026 so opportunity recognizes you. Now listen carefully. Releasing creates space, but space without structure invites confusion. 2026 does not respond to hope, it responds to readiness. Here is what must be built. Number 1. Build inner authority. Stop outsourcing your decisions. You already sense what aligns, you just hesitate to trust it. Inner authority means, once you know, you stand by it. No constant second guessing, no repeated self-doubt. When you respect your own clarity, life mirrors that respect. Number 2. Build one clear direction. Too many possibilities scatter energy. You do not need certainty, you need commitment. Choose one direction you are willing to walk, even if it evolves later. Movement organizes clarity, standing still does not. Number 3. Build tolerance for discomfort. Growth feels awkward before it feels right. Old patterns fall away, new ones feel unstable. Most people retreat here. Those who rise stay. They do not escape discomfort, they learn from it, and 2026 supports those who do not run back to familiarity. Number 4. Build clean inner systems. Clean systems mean consistent routines, clear priorities, fewer but honest commitments. Chaos drains future capacity. Order creates momentum. You do not need intensity, you need consistency. Number 5. Build early alignment. Do not wait until things collapse. Notice misalignment early. Adjust early. Speak early. Act early. Early alignment saves future struggle. Ask yourself and write the answer below in the comments section. If opportunity arrives suddenly, do I have the discipline, clarity, and structure to sustain it? Now you must be thinking how to know when 2026 has started working in your favor. You will not hear an announcement. No signboard will appear, but you will notice shifts. Let us talk about that shifts. Number 1. Less noise, more direction. You will stop seeking too many opinions. Your decisions will feel quieter but firmer. Number 2. Fewer options, better ones. Some doors will close naturally. The remaining ones will feel intentional. This is alignment, not limitation. Number 3. Effort will feel cleaner. Still effort, but without constant resistance. You will feel supported, not pushed. Number 4. Your tolerance will drop. You will no longer negotiate with what drains you. This is not arrogance, this is maturity. Number 5. Timing will feel precise. Things will happen neither too fast nor too late, right when you are ready. I am not preparing you for ease. I am preparing you for expansion, and expansion demands clarity, discipline, and courage. Do not ignore this question. Your answer may motivate others. If your old patterns disappear, are you ready to live without them? Or do you secretly rely on them to stay comfortable? Write in the comment section below because your answer decides how 2026 feels to you. Sit quietly and listen this with you, whole heart. Not because this is the end of the message, but because this is the moment you stop watching and start standing differently. By now, you may have noticed something subtle. This did not feel like motivation. It did not feel like fear. It did not feel like prediction. It felt like recognition, and recognition is always the final stage before change becomes real. Have you ever thought why this message did not rush you? I did not ask you to act immediately. I did not ask you to transform overnight. I did not promise miracles, because what approaches you does not require urgency, it requires readiness. Urgency creates panic. Readiness creates power. 2026 will not chase you. It will meet you exactly where you stand. That is why preparation mattered more than excitement. When alignment starts working in your favor, life does not suddenly become loud, it becomes clean. Your thoughts stop circling endlessly, your decisions stop draining you, your energy stops leaking into unnecessary places. You will still face challenges, but they will feel purposeful, not chaotic. Confusion fades not because answers appear, but because you stop entertaining questions that no longer matter. That is clarity. Confidence before a major life shift does not feel bold, it feels settled. You no longer rush to prove, you no longer panic about timing, you no longer fear missing out. You understand something deeply now. What is meant for you does not require self-betrayal, and what requires self-betrayal was never meant to stay. This understanding will guide you more accurately than any sign. Most people wait for external confirmation. They want certainty before commitment. They want guarantees before courage. They want comfort before clarity. But life works in reverse. Clarity appears after commitment. Support appears after direction. Momentum appears after alignment. You are learning this early. That is why this phase feels quiet, serious, and internal. You are being trusted with awareness. I did not come to tell you that something unusual is coming. I came to tell you this: you are becoming someone who can handle it, and that matters more. Do not rush your growth. Do not doubt your timing. Do not return to old patterns for temporary relief. Stand where you are, with honesty, discipline, and patience. That is enough. Before you move forward from this moment, answer this truthfully. If your life begins to expand after 2026, will you rise to meet it, or will you try to shrink it back to stay familiar? Remember this: life does not test readiness with difficulty, it tests it with opportunity. And now you are aware, that is where everything begins.